episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to take a look at a company we haven't looked at before. We're looking at Flamma, and we're looking at the FS03 Delay. Pretty unique pedal.
This is interesting. Mm-hmm. We were just talking about this before we started. Like, you can buy kind of relatively inexpensive delays, but a lot of times they sound maybe real digital or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or they're just your kind of run-of-the-mill delay. Right. I don't find anything just kind of like typical normal delay about this pedal, which is awesome. You know what I mean? Like it's every setting has something kind of unique or different.
Very unique, yeah.
So we did a bunch of clips on this one again. So let's just talk real quick overview of features and then jump into clips. Yeah. So just like, I mean, almost every delay pedal up at the top, it's got to be what? Mix, time, and
feedback.
Mm-hmm. Mix is interesting because you go all the way up to the top, you go totally wet. Mm-hmm. The dry signal comes out. So if you're running like a wet-dry rig, this might be really nice for that. Although we are running it into both the Fender and the Tyler, and I feel like when we went all the way wet, both amps went all the way wet. There was no dry. And we don't have it set up right for that.
Probably not.
All right. That said, you have two tweak knobs. They change depending on what setting you're on. Mm-hmm. You have 6 different delays and a looper. If you press and hold, say we have it on, if we press and hold the on-off switch, just turns blue and lets you tap in. Mm-hmm. So you have tap tempo. If you unplug it and plug it back in while holding in that on-off switch, you can switch between trails mode and non-trails mode.
Right.
So, what am I missing? I think it's it.
You can save presets.
Oh yeah, you can save presets. So if you're on 1 through 6 and you like it, if you press and hold that button, it will save your settings for that. There's no way really to toggle through without reaching down and pushing that. But for what we're talking about, like $75.
It was like 75, yeah.
$75 delay pedal. Yeah.
And it has a tap. You can external tap.
Oh yeah, that's right.
On the side that you can hook up. Yeah, I fully blame Josh Scott for this.
Oh yeah, of course.
Many people blame Josh Scott for a lot of things. This pedal he featured, I think, on a live stream he had, and I was like, that is really cool.
So a deep dive into this. He took 3. I took 3.
Right.
I took 3. You took the first one.
Yeah, I took the first one, which I believe is simply called tape, and I played it and I messed with the 2 tweak knobs as I was playing, and it sounds like this. All right, so that was the tape setting, and the tweak knob on the left is the filter, and the tweak knob on the right is the vibrato, and you could hear what they did because I tried to manipulate both of them. I kind of like the tweak knob toward the left because you got the full fatness of the signal, but you can definitely be creative with that setting.
Right. So I did preset number 2, and it sounds a little bit like this. All right, that was the liquid setting, and the liquid setting has a step phaser on it. So tweak 1 and 2, tweak 1 controls the rate of the step phaser, tweak 2 controls the mix of it. And kind of like Pat did on all these, we're really just trying to play some notes and turn things around to see what they do and give you an idea of what the pedal sounds like. So
next, I went somewhere over the rainbow. I went to the rainbow setting and played something that sounded like this. That was rainbow. So the tweak knob on the left controlled the, I'm looking, stutter rate and depth, and the one on the right was the pitch degree. So it was that one was definitely unique, for sure.
Then we jump to setting 4, which sounds a little bit like this. So setting 4 is the Galaxy mode, and your tweak knob number 1 is post slow gear. And tweak knob number 2 is a chorus knob. So this post slow gear and pre slow gear took me a while to figure out, but it's kind of like post slow gear is reacting on the repeats, right? And that pre slow gear is actually acting on the guitar signal. And you'll see that in a later one. But kind of crazy and fun. Next.
So moving on, I tackled the mod verse and tried to play something to let you hear it, and this is what I did. All right, so that was Modverse. Pretty simple. Tweak 1 on the left is the flanger rate, and tweak 2 on the right is the flanger mix. Now, I will say on most of these, we left the mix time and feedback the same. Some of them we had to manipulate that a little bit to make the effect pop out.
Right.
Which I think we did on the I should have said it earlier, on the step phaser, we had to manipulate the feedback a little bit.
And really, I think we were just going like, what's the secondary feature? Like, because the delay is the same across the board, right? It's repeats, it's time. Right. So how did the tweak 1 and tweak 2 affect it in each one? I think I'd agree with you. The 6 mode, here it is. Sounds like this. That was the low bit mode. And in the low bit mode, you have a pre-slow gear on tweak 1. Tweak 2 is a bit crusher.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Right.
And it gets like, when you get it up high, it gets almost whatever. And then, all right, that was my favorite one. I mean, not for a usable sound.
It's a blue box,
right? It was my favorite one. Just to like, I wasn't sure what was happening, and probably those kind of chords I was playing don't really go with that kind of setting. Whatever, I don't care. It was kind of fun, and if we're having fun, that's what it's all about. So, the pre-slow gear, man, you crank that up, and it does that like kind of. I
was saying like a volume swell reverse delay feel to it.
I would like to try the slow gear pedal now.
Oh, well, that's to be honest with you, that's one of the reasons, because you get an original slow gear, they are astronomically priced. So to have that ability to do some level of slow gear in a $75 pedal, sign me up. That's why that was a big one that did it for me.
No,
he had me at slow gear.
It's a little weird. Mm-hmm. It's a little weird. And then I just started turning knobs, and who knows what. So, anyway, that's the pedal. The only thing we haven't showed you is if we tap this all the way over to spot number 7, we now have
an 80-second looper.
An 80-second looper. So, one thing you notice is that's a looper.
It's a looper.
Right. So, because I'm not sure we talked a whole lot about before we went into it, but basically, yeah, you press it once, starts the loop, press it again, stops the loop, press it again. You can add the second one, press it again, stops the second one. You can keep doing that multiple times. What's cool about that is you can lay something down, then practice over it, play over it. But what you might have noticed when I just hit like a little... it wasn't quite loud enough.
Yeah, it was back, or equal or back. So it's competing with 2 other tracks.
Right. What's really cool about their looper here is that one of these knobs controls the level of the loop, one controls the level of the guitar.
Yeah, tweak 2 is the loop, tweak 1 is the guitar.
So we can show that real quick. And then to stop it, you just double tap. And if I wanted to clear it after I stopped it, I would just press and hold. But we're not going to clear it right now. We're going to let it play. So you did.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of experience with loopers because that was like a 17 take, but it's interesting. That is a feature that I don't recall in other loopers, to be able to manipulate both.
Right. Well, the diddle looper, you can turn down or turn up the loops, but the guitar would just be full.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's giving it a boost over what it would be. Without the pedal.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like if you turn it up, it gets loud.
It does.
So, that's the Flamma. Flamma?
You say Flamma, I say Llama. I don't know. Flamma, Flamma. I've heard it said both ways. It was sort of like when we did the Tajima episode.
So, always like to take a minute, just thank everybody that's watching, subscribing, clicking the like button, notification bell, leaving comments, going out to Instagram, Facebook. Anytime you interact with the show, it really helps us out, helps us to keep doing stuff like this. Stop by the website and check that out. We have a lot of cool stuff that we're posting there. Keep you up to date with what's going on with the show. Big shout out to members. We really appreciate those of you that have clicked the join button down below and supported the show in that way. And I think with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. And you're about to hear the looper, or you're about to hear some madness.
I think, well, I mean, as much as I like the looper, I'm really kind of a fan of number 6. Right?
What the Flamma?